Is a man who is one of the world's leading experts in visual comedy. They say that inside every 80-year-old, there are 4 20-year-olds wondering what the hell happened. Inside Red Skelton, there are 8 10-year-olds having a wonderful time. He bills himself simply as one of America's clowns. Anyone who has ever seen this man has enjoyed one of the world's greatest clowns. His name is Red Skelton.
From television city in Hollywood, the Red Skelton Hour.
During the 50s and 60s, the American television audience got to see for the first time the hilarious characters Red Skelton had created on his radio show. From the Mean Whittle Kid to Clem Cadiddlehopper to Freddie the Freeloader, these beloved products of Red's personality came to life on the screen.
Gertrude and Heathcliff, the 2 seagulls were flying over Texas, see? And this big jet goes by. Goodness, did you see how fast that bird was going? She said, yeah, I saw. So what? So what? Your tail was on fire, you go that fast.
The circus. It's in Red Skelton's blood. He comes by it rightfully. His father was a clown who died before Red was born, but he left a legacy for his son to follow. In 1923, at age 10, Red joined a medicine show, and since that time has honed and polished his comedy in tent shows, circuses, burlesque, vaudeville, motion pictures, radio, and television. In addition to the art of performing, Red found many other outlets for his creativity. He has authored more than 4,000 short stories, written nearly 5,000 musical selections, starred in 48 motion pictures, and holds the record of 20 consecutive years in the top 10 on television. And in his spare time, he paints. As Red celebrated his 80th birthday, Steve Addy and the Addy Galleries in Reno turned John Asquaga's Nugget Hotel into one giant art show, the biggest of Red's career. A gala event was held complete with a 400-pound birthday cake, clowns, elephants, and of course, Mr. and Mrs. Red Skelton. The highlight of the evening came when Michael Richards surprised Red with a special honor.
Thank you. I've got the speech here, but I'd like to put it down and try to come from my heart. As a little boy and watching Red Skelton do this wonderful show, at the time I didn't know that I was to become a performer. And to many of us in the business, young comics like myself, we do believe that there's one man, one master of the art to study and emulate and admire, and that is Red Skelton. For your remarkable career spanning 7 decades of making people happy with your humor, your generous heart and your timeless spirit of fun, demonstrated in every medium and for every type of audience, we are proud to induct Red Skelton, one of America's clowns, as a charter member of the Comedy Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Red.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Mr. Red Skelton.
Thank you. Well, you can't top that. Good night. Look at all these Catholics down in front here. I got a joke for you. Van Larity, who's the Vicar General at the Vatican, went into the Pope. He said, I have good news and bad news for you. He said, what's the good news? He says, Jesus is back. And you talk to him on the phone. He says, what's the bad news? He called from Salt Lake City. I have a request to do a friend of ours, or to mine, anyhow. Yeah. Well, sir, since I saw you last when I was on television, I got married. Had a military wedding. Well, there were guns there, let's put it that way. I met my wife through her wife's brother. He said to me, would you like to meet one of my sisters? I said, you've got sisters? He said, I've got two. One's named Hortense, the other's name's Lassie. I said, Lassie's a dog. He said, wait till you see Hortense.
At 80 years old, he still tours the country doing over 100 concerts a year. And, as usual that night, Red clowned around, told jokes, and demonstrated the philosophy by which he lives his life.
I personally believe that each and every one of us was put here for a purpose, and that's to build and not to destroy. And if by chance someday you're not feeling well, you should remember some silly little thing that I've said or done tonight or before now, and it brings back a smile to your face or a chuckle to your heart, then my purpose has been fulfilled. The time has come to say goodnight. Smile. Our time does fly. We've had a laugh, perhaps a tear, and now we hear goodbye. I really hate to say goodnight, for times like these are few. I wish you love and happiness in everything you do. The time has come to say goodnight, and I hope I've made a friend. So we'll say, may God bless until we meet again. Good night, and may God bless. Thank you.
When we come back.